Hey, what's up, YouTube? I know I haven't made a video in a while. I've been busy working my ass off lately. Fucking paying bills, doing the weekly grind. I mean, just doing what I do as a member of the proletariat, but guys, you have my word. I'm gonna start doing more videos from now on. Or at least I'm gonna try and upload more often, even if they're lower quality videos like this one. I know I gotta get some content out there. But anyways, let's talk about drugs. So, a YouTuber that I watch from time to time just recently made a video on the topic, and I'm not going to drop his name mainly because, like, this isn't really a response video, and I don't really want you guys to think I'm trying to drum up clout, but, I figured this is an interesting topic, at least when it comes to what a proper socialist line on drugs should be. So, here's my stance. When it comes to individual drug use, if you're in a party or you're involved in activism, it probably isn't a good idea to get high before a protest, you know. But I mean, if it's the weekends, you're out with your buddies, you know, and someone brings a little bit of coke to the party, or someone's passing around a bong and you want to partake, I mean, nothing necessarily wrong with that, It's just another form of escapism, not that much different from video games. Drugs in and of themselves aren't inherently addictive. They're really only a problem if you let it become a problem. Now, with that being said, wanting to push prohibition for drugs is generally a bad idea. And the reason for this is because prohibition has never worked. It has never, ever worked. It didn't work in the 1920s with alcohol. It hasn't worked with, the war on drugs for the decades that we've had it going on. It just simply doesn't work. Every time we do it and we push it in the dark and we create that taboo around it, it tends to create more interest around the stuff and more interest around the contraband. So people are going to be interested in partaking in that taboo. Versus if you bring it in the light, legalize, tax, and regulate it, and monitor the public's drug use, you can properly, deal with it in case the situation gets out of hand. I mean, just look at the United States. We have a serious opioid crisis, in spite of the fact that these opioids are a contraband substance. Obviously, you gotta go through the right channels, through the big pharma to get your fucking dope. But anyways, a proper socialist line on drugs should be in favor of legalization, taxation, and regulation. Obviously, drugs should be manufactured by the state and sold by the state and distributed. And by doing this, we can make them safer, we can make them less addictive. We can cut out the middleman in the form of the black market. We can neuter the cartels and cripple their activities, because right now we have, a serious gang problem down in Mexico. But, if we were to just legalize, tax, and regulate cannabis alone, just cannabis alone, that would fucking kneecap the cartels down south. You think a bunch of dudes out in the middle of nowhere, with minimal equipment are really going to be able to compete with a corporation or a very large institution? Of course not. And the other fact of it is you're just putting proles in jail for arbitrary reasons. The war on drugs historically has been used as a cheap, convenient excuse to throw activists in jail. I forget the name of the guy, but basically the dude who was the head of the DEA who passed several years ago straight up said, yeah, the only reason we were pushing for the war on drugs is so that we could arrest the leaders of hippies, hippie activist groups, and African American, black rights activists, and so on. It's just an easy excuse to persecute the proles, to keep them in line. It's just another way that the bourgeois have repressed working class people, because I mean, I don't really know what else to say besides that. I mean, but yeah, obviously we should be in favor of decriminalization. Socialist countries have tried banning alcohol and drugs in the past. It didn't work. There people still used it. And, if your system is so shitty to where you have large swaths of your population on drugs all the time because they're trying to cope with the shittiness within their own lives, that is a systemic problem. That is not an individual problem anymore. And at the rate that people are using drugs here specifically in the United States, along with the fact that we've had this war on drugs waging on for decades, it's done nothing good for us. We have a booming black market, we have people getting shot and dying in this actual hot war on drugs, the gang wars going on down south. Our prison populations have exploded. I don't really think jamming people into overcrowded prisons over smoking the wrong plant or eating a mushroom or doing a line of coke is really tackling the problem. Maybe we should treat this as a public health crisis. Maybe we should factor this into the overall plan. Like, how we're going to deal with our plan. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's all I have to say. I'm probably going to lose some subs for this, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm just speaking the truth. Peace out.